Long before the swing era, jazz found its home in New Orleans, where small bands played on the streets, at parties, and even at funerals. The music also grew alongside Storyville, the city's entertainment district, where musicians had steady venues to perform and develop their sound. When Storyville closed in 1917, many black musicians migrated north during the Great Migration, bringing jazz within them to cities like Chicago. In Chicago, jazz continued to evolve. The music became more polished, emphasized individual solos, and adapted to faster tempos that suited dance halls like Lincoln Gardens. Musicians such as King Oliver helped pioneer what became known as Chicago jazz. These faster rhythms and new musical freedoms eventually helped shape swing. Band leaders like Fletcher Henderson and Duke Ellington developed a style built around call and response patterns, solo improvisation, and coordinated instrument sections that played both with and against each other. The result was music with a powerful rhythmic drive that encouraged audience to dance.
However, the story of swing is not only about musical innovation. The rise of swing was also shaped heavily by capitalism. The same economic systems that helped swing spread across the United States also influenced who profited from it and who received the most recognition.
For swing to grow nationally, it needed infrastructure, technology, distribution, and financial investment. One of the most important forces behind the growth was the radio. Beginning in the early 1920s, radio broadcasting allowed music to reach audiences across the country. Swing bands could suddenly perform for millions of listeners at once, instead of only the audiences inside nightclubs or ballrooms. The recording industry also played a major role. Recordings allowed music to be captured, reproduced, sold, and turned swing into a profitable national industry. As swing expanded, record companies, radio networks, and booking agents gained increasing influence over which musicians received exposure.
However, the same capitalist systems that helped swing spread also shaped who benefited from its success. Many of the institutions controlling the music industry were run by white executives who made decisions based on what they believed would appeal to mainstream audiences. Because swing increasingly attracted white middle-class listeners, record companies often promoted white band leaders more heavily than the black musicians who had originally developed the music. As a result, black artists were frequently the innovators behind swing, while white performers received greater national recognition and financial success. For example, many of Fletcher Henderson's arrangements were later performed by Benny Goodman's orchestra, helping Goodman become widely known as the King of Swing. This illustrates how black musicians often shaped the music creatively, even when white band leaders received the most public credit. Successful white band leaders such as Benny Goodman, Glenn Miller, and Artie Shaw became some of the most visible figures of the swing era. Their success reflected not only musical talent, but also the economic structure of the music industry, where those who controlled distribution and promotion also influenced who profited the most.
Don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing. It don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is swing. Makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm every little thing you've got. It don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing.
By the end of the swing era, it becomes clear that capitalism played a double role in the history of swing music. On one hand, national radio, recording technology, and commercial promotion helped transform a regional black musical innovation into an international phenomenon. On the other hand, these same systems also shaped who benefited from its success. While black musicians created and developed the sound of swing, the industry itself was largely controlled by white executives and companies. Understanding swing through this lens shows that the history of jazz is not only about music. It is also a story about power, economics, and access within the entertainment industry. And more broadly, it reminds us that cultural innovation and economic reward do not always go to the same people.